Was on Sunday, we saw Union Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan complaining about a very bad experience on a flight of Air India. It's now BJP leader Shergill who has flagged more complaints on in the service of Air India. He posted on social media platform X. He took a dig at Air India, saying, if there was, and I quote him here, if there was an Oscar equivalent for worst airlines, Air India would win hands down in every category, from broken seats to worst staff and pathetic on-ground support staff. The BJP, unquote, the BJP leader further added that flying Air India is not a pleasant experience, but today it broke all records. Now, in response, Air India, as per the norm we have seen, issued an apology on that post, saying that we apologize for the inconvenience and please DM us, just like they told the Union Minister to do so. Air India assure that to get in touch with him over the issue. We have aviation expert Shivraj Goel joining us on the broadcast. Good morning, Mr. Goel. Well, once again, we spoke earlier when Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan had complained about the experience, and in fact there is action being taken. At least what we know is that DGC has called a meeting with Air India also next week. But just before that, we see now another leader, another BJP leader questioning the service of Air India. Why is it happening?
Well, it's very, very unfortunate that incident after incident should take place. But Mr. Shergill, Air India has apologized. And you see, Air India, when Tata's took over, was in a very bad state of affairs. And Rome was not built in a day. They are trying their best to improve. And it will take some time. After the Shivraj Patil incident, I talked to some senior people in Air India. They said, we are changing the fleet. We are doing all best possible. And you see, they are waiting for new aircraft to come in. They have placed orders for, more than 500 aircraft, about 500 aircraft. So as the new aircraft will come in, they will be replaced. So they have inherited, the fleet. And yes, there are bound to be complaints. But the problem is that if they ignore the complaints, that is wrong. So as I mentioned earlier also, like they do a safety audit, they should do an audit of the interiors of the plane, and that needs to be urgently taken place, whether all the seats have a pushback, none of the seats are broken, the air ducts are working, the entertainment system is working. Now, all these things need to be flagged, and the seats which are, they can't change the planes overnight, but the seats which are not functional, they should put some ribbon on it, and they should put a sticker that not in use or something like that. And they should ensure that whether it's a political leader or a business leader or an ordinary citizen, they should get the money's worth. And not only with Air India, but we have experienced this with other airlines also. But Air India has to replace their, old aging fleet as soon as possible. And the staff needs to be more responsive and more proactive in order to ensure that there is customer satisfaction. Now, I'm also a little disturbed that why this is happening again and again. But this is something which will take time. But
no, but sir, it's been, I think, more than 2 years, around 2 to 3 years, if I'm not wrong, as far as the takeover is concerned.
At least 2 years more.
You said that it will take time, but it's only getting worse. It's not improved. There's no improvement.
Before it was nationalized.
There's no improvement, sir. It's only getting worse. That's the biggest issue.
Yes, I agree with you that there are a lot of challenges, and as long as the challenges are trying to be met, and as long as the management of Air India is not, shirking away the responsibility. They're taking the responsibility and they have apologized. So I think, and I think the passengers should be compensated, their fare should be returned, and, maybe they be given a better experience on a better airline.
Right, sir. But we've seen, many a times, even if you go online, there have been multiple complaints, not just by, people from the country, but also international travelers. I've seen, people making even vlogs, how it had been the worst experience on, Air India. And it is, of course, having a reputation for decades, which is only declining and declining. It is also about the hard-earned money of people, of the citizens of the country, and also who fly in and fly out of the country. I mean, there is something called a consumer satisfaction and justice to the customers as well. And if there is no redressal system, if the attitude also is being questioned, forget the entire system. If it's not in place, if they're not able to get their act together, there can be different procedures for that. But if, the approach is questionable, then it's really a worrisome problem then.
No, I don't think that Air India is ignoring all these. Air India is fully aware, and no airline wants their reputation to go down. And these are incidents that are taking place because of the old fleet. And as I mentioned earlier, there are issues, there are problems, there are challenges. And the merger of Vistara, we wanted Air India to upgrade itself to the Vistara quality, which has not happened as yet. And I'm quite hopeful that in spite of these challenges, the reputation of the Tata Group, whether it is the Taj Hotel or it is any other product of Tata's, they will overcome these challenges. And they should, it is always the darkest before dawn. And I think these are challenges, a dark period for Air India. But they will come out of these challenges as soon as they are able to get their new fleet.
Sir, we talk about, you talk about the reputation of the Tatas, but that Midas touch is not clearly working with Air India. And perhaps earlier, they were not directly involved in, the entire running of the airlines in and out. But here, they have to handle, all the aspects as far as the flight experience is concerned, the aircraft system, the entire system is concerned. The apologies and the way they write apologies that, you can DM us so that we can get in touch with you, be it a union minister, BJP leader, or anyone for that matter. This is a very, an approach which is...
No, there I agree with you. They need to be more, PR conscious, and their PR needs to improve. And they should, rather than receiving, they should call these are prominent people. Air India should call them up. Someone from Air India Senior should visit them and tender the apology. Because this happens in the aviation and tourism industry, this happens. If something like this, because we are also representing about 13 international airlines and 8 cruise companies and Stick Travels. If something like this happens to any of our customer, I as chairman also ensure that I also personally apologize to the person and rectify the situation. So these things are bound to happen in the service industry somewhere down the line because there is human error is bound to take place. And to error is human, but the response has to be better, and the PR needs to improve. I agree with you.
Right. Ratan Tata had also, there's of course a dream that was, he had this dream also that, he will complete the job that was left as far as Air India is concerned. He's no more there, but, from JRD Tata to Ratan Tata, and there are a lot of expectations when you attach that name with an airlines. But you feel that with that kind of reputation, there has to be a better system for redressal. There has to be a better system for checks and balances also internally be in an aircraft, in aviation, if you could understand, help our viewers understand that, how difficult, or are there any challenges you are aware of that an airline could be, facing someone like
You see, there are a lot of challenges. The first challenge is you cannot get rid of all the staff immediately. There is a phasing out method. One of the conditions of the merger was that, the staff, as far as possible, with training and all, the same staff is there, which was there earlier. So you cannot overnight, train up thousands and thousands of people. So the staff challenge and the training of the staff is one big issue, which is an ongoing process. It is work in progress. And secondly, the fleet. You see, immediately Air India has placed one of the largest orders in the world. But the manufacturing companies, whether it is Boeing or Airbus, they're taking time to deliver the aircraft. Now, till such time the aircrafts are not delivered, they cannot suspend the flights. They have to, keep transporting people from one point to another. It is not just, business. It is also a social and a moral responsibility of every airline, not just Air India. And I have had, I don't want to name the airlines, but I have had, I keep traveling at least once or twice a month. It's an occupational hazard. So I have faced bad seats in many other airlines and some of the world's best airlines. But what I feel is that we need to, I have a lot of confidence in the future of Air India, and I have full faith in the management skills and the professionalism of the Tata Group. And the industry is very happy compared to the previous Air India. The industry is very happy. The response to the travel agents, to the tour operators is very proactive. And there is a lot of changes that have taken place in the top management. But it will take time. As you rightly mentioned, at least another 2 years are needed for Air India to come to its past glory.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Shivraj Singh, for joining us with your thoughts and your insights onto the story, viewers. So we continue to track and get more and more, reaction, viewers, on this, because it's a story that, connects everybody, right from those, right from people in power, right to the common man, to anybody who is traveling via flights for work, for personal work, anything for that matter. Of course, it takes a lot of money, and Air India is a it's a household name. It has been there for decades, and it has had its highs and lows. And now we have, after Shivraj Singh Chauhan, the union minister, who's also former chief minister, we have now Shergill, who's a BJP leader, calling it, saying that it has set new records and badge services. If there was any parallel or equivalent to an Oscar for bad aviation, then it would be given to Air India. It would win hands down Oscar equivalent for worst airline, says Shergill. In every category, from broken seats to worst staff, pathetic on-ground support staff as well. Further says that flying Air India is not a pleasant experience, but today broke all records. Means he has not had many good experiences, but this time it was the worst one. We'll continue to track more updates on that, viewers.